Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn from?
Whoa, okay.
All right, this is pretty sweet. Wait. Yours makes noise?
Yeah, well, it's a Target version. It's not even the real.
Yeah, the version.
Dork forces! Do it!
Hello there.
Hello there, everyone.
Kyle Katarn here.
I'm the Bendu.
Welcome back to another episode of Dork Forces Podcast. This is episode 106. Thank you for joining us, everybody, here today. We're here to talk Star Wars news and rumors and a couple of things that have been happening in our Star Wars fan community recently. First and foremost, Battlefront 3, right? That seems to be all that anyone is talking about right now is Battlefront this, Battlefront that, even discussions and topics that have nothing to do with Battlefront. Like, this is where the fun begins. This is where the conversation is being led to. And I, for one, am all about it. Make some noise. Make some noise for Battlefront, man. It was such a good game. We need more. We need more Battlefronts. Yes, no, a Katarn is never late. All right, a Katarn is never late. Precisely when he means to.
Yeah. Technical difficulties are always, a potential threat in the water. There's always something, like in my instance, StreamYard was giving me weird like login issues and saying that our studio originally wasn't available. So there's things that happen backstage that not a lot of people know about. But yes, no. Welcome again.
All kinds of fires being put out left and right backstage. Yeah. Like, you guys have no idea.
Just like the Falcon. But yes, this is episode 106. The few things we have to talk about is we finally, Katarn and I, were able to see Rogue One post Andor season 2. And yeah, if you haven't done it already, rewatching that movie after the entire show just brought so much weight.
Big difference.
Brought in it was an absolute complete difference. The only thing that I could truly compare it to in like thinking about it afterwards is like it's like watching the completion of the Clone Wars and then rewatching Revenge of the Sith. It's like all the context, all the prehistory, everything that you know of the clones, everything that happened between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Even though Ahsoka wasn't in the movie, now that we know everything about the history and the reason why she wasn't in the movie and everything that was happening on Mandalore, like Revenge of the Sith is its own complete separate entity, now knowing everything that led up to it outside of Attack of the Clones. And with Andor Season 2 leading up to Rogue One, it does truly make Rogue One a completely different film.
It really does. Like, the emotional beats were completely different throughout it, and I found myself much more invested in and attached to like certain scenes than I was before, completely because of that same context. Like, I feel like I judged characters differently, I judged their actions differently, and it's all because of what we learned through Andor season 1 and 2. And oh man, just the ending, like the beach scene, just oh my god, way heavier watching it now and thinking about everything that we've been introduced to and all the different thoughts that we've had. Yeah, it's that. I think honestly, it's the biggest achievement of that show is that it's taken one of what was already one of my favorite Star Wars movies, right, Rogue One, and it's just elevated it so much. Like, it's a completely different experience watching Rogue One now. And like there, we could get into specifics if you like, but just in general overall,
it was just the general overall.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so like Rogue One has always been one of my favorites, like since it came out. Like the Battle of Scarif is like such a cool damn like space battle specifically. The ground battle of Scarif is cool too, but it's the space battle that's really my favorite. Revisiting that with all of the hype and momentum and just like intense like emotion from like the sacrifice of Andor while you're watching that battle makes it like even better. even better. It's it hits different, as they say. It hits different. That's what I was thinking about too. Like what's going through his mind in those final moments.
But yeah, between it also is just like I'm not sure what the immediate word is, but like recognize, I guess shocking, really. It was really shocking, but amazing seeing how Tony Gilroy was able to sew together the ending of the show into the start of the movie, and how it's literally within like 2 or 3 days. Like they line up so well, and it's like there's no real what's it called when you have like when you're going from one flight to another flight layover. There's no layover between the stories of the moments. It's literally just boom, 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 boom.
Right,
and Cassian
right.
has had no time to really slow down or think. So I think the moment that we see him almost assassinate Jin's dad, like that was the only moment he was able to like kind of take a moment, recognize what he was doing in the moment, and like not end up shooting. And then lo and behold, the X-Wings come out, and it's just like, dude, it's just there's so much.
Yeah, it really did recontextualize why he made the choice that he did. And like you think about all the things that he's considering while he's standing up there on Edu. Yeah, it really was cool. And there were a couple moments that I feel like have become a bit more awkward now since Andor. One of them for me was Mon Mothma kind of like having like a sneaky smile at the prospect of like everyone rushing to Scarif to fight. That like Raditz is already going to fight after they hear about the rebels on Scarif. That's not the Mon Mothma that we saw in the show. I feel like she would be like very grim about sending soldiers off to fight.
Mm.
Like I didn't see that like that cheeky like hee let's go fight the Empire. Like I don't know, maybe they didn't bring her all the way to that point in the character for me. It just felt like a lot more of a lighthearted approach to what was just discussed as like a very heavy subject earlier in the show. Things like that felt a little bit awkward now. But I've only seen it once since seeing Andor. I just need to rewatch it, I think, and really wrap my head around what else we now know, But it was great, man. And we recorded the reaction too. It's a reaction video. It's already up on Patreon as a full uncut, and the YouTube version should be hitting later this week. So that's the plan. Yeah, man. Rogue One. And also, like you were saying, like I thought there was some beautiful symmetry between like with how they, seamlessly went into Rogue One from Andor season 2, the exact same way they go from Rogue One to A New Hope. Like that was a nice kind of like beginning how you ended way to send the show off. I thought that was appropriate.
I think also because I was going through the chat here, and yeah, I felt Ron Solari felt so much more satisfying seeing Krennic joining the ever lengthening Imperial Death March. Yeah, so it's like that whole
ever lengthening Imperial Death March.
That whole moment was like a complete sort of eye-opening moment as well, because it's like as far as we got to see in season 2 Andor, like Krennic is just one of those divas that likes to name drop and like likes to make himself seem more important than he actually is, and like tries to get as much prestige as he can because he gets off on having high titles. But then the moment that he's in a room with someone like Vader or like Tarkin, or just the fact that he didn't even make it to seeing Palpatine because of just like how absolutely terrifying Vader was. Like he just, he had that little moment of recognizing that he's in a completely different ballpark. Like, like he's not on the same level as like Deep Darkness is like some of these other members of the, of the faculty are.
Right.
But yeah, and then at the very end, like for all of his petty bullshit, like at the end dying, having it be Cassian that shoots him. Oh, that was the other thing too that I thought was an amazing clapback was Krennic looking at Jin and just being like, "Who are you?" Like,
right? Yeah. That really hit us in the moment. That like that.
I was like, "Damn, that's That's such a Cyril Cassian callback right there of like
Who are you?
all these horrendous, like momentous things that happened throughout the like Star Wars history, and it just boils down to like two characters that have maybe never had any interaction or have maybe had only one interaction. And it's just like, how is it in the grand scheme of things, this random ass person holds so much weight? Like it's
Right.
the fact that they kind of echo that in. It's like to quote
Exactly.
old George Lucas,
The axe forgets.
to
the
quote
tree
to
remembers.
quote the good old creator himself. Like it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah, I didn't put it together until I was sitting there watching it, and Bendu and I both were kind of like, "Oh, whoa!" when he says it. Like, of course, the connection's so clear once it's pointed out, but like, didn't think of it. Yeah, dude, Rogue One was great. I'm excited to rewatch the rest of Star Wars now, just with the context of what we've gotten. It's been a while since I've watched the original trilogy. Like, just sat down and just watched them as movies. I like go back to them as reference material so often, but like we should do that. We should do that soon. Yeah, CSI. Who are you? That's where it all comes from.
But one question it also like
We were talking about it. Yeah.
It instilled in my heart, and like, yeah, people in the chat, people who watch this particular episode later, leave it in the comments. But trying to figure out now, we have a year. Dork Forces chat. We have a year till Star Wars Celebration 2027. What is the Bendu going to cosplay as? Okay, that's what we need to figure out. We have 2 days to cosplay. Sunday will probably be like the super chill day, because like last time Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, I did a original Old Republic Jedi character and just used like my Gandalf robes and just sort of like made things work. But after Katarn and I were watching Rogue One, though, I was just like, damn, best friend. It was like, how fucking cool would it be to be Chirrut Inway? How cool would it be? Like, I would
think
need
you can
to
pull it off.
I would absolutely need to get contacts. But like, I'm trying to. I don't know what would be appropriate or not appropriate.
You could do the Bendu. You could be the Bendu.
I would have to create a giant like space crab moose costume.
Yeah, but remember in Princess Bride when they just put Andre the Giant in a wheelbarrow, and then he was the Dread Pirate Roberts, and he was huge. You could just pull that optical illusion, man. Just be the Bendu. I'll cart the wheelbarrow around. It's cool. It's fine.
That's fair. We could figure that out. Yes.
You gotta get the deep voice.
Bendu. Yeah. Going through. Yeah. Kingston. You would do Krennic, Ron Solari. Man, Krennic, I mean, those.
Ooh, no. I hear it out. I'm hearing it, Woodsy. I think that Bendu would make a great Rom Coda, actually.
I
see the vision. I see the vision.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. That's true. There is enough time to Google and research would make a Ram Coda, would make a good Ram Coda cosplay. I know I'd have to ask some of the others somehow, like how do you make bandages for your eyes that you can still like kind of see through?
It's just like the material. You got to use some sort of a transparent fabric.
For sure. I'll be right there. Celebration 27 in LA.
I have been playing Battlefront every day. I've been streaming it every day. I am going to be part of the massive player count. We already hit the all-time player peak. Like, we've already surpassed what it was at launch. Like, I got an image here. Yeah, 18,060. And this data is a couple days old at this point. Yeah, like it's kind of amazing how many people have come back and started playing again. But I'm not currently playing. No, we're doing the podcast. But I'll be live playing some more Battlefront a little bit later on. Stay tuned for that. I always post on Discord and Twitter and Instagram when I'm going live. So those are the places where you can check for that. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we organized it. We called it, it was called Resurgence Day, Battlefront 2 Resurgence Day. We tried to get everybody on to play. And yeah, 17,000 on right now, like right freaking now on a Wednesday evening. It's fantastic. It warms this crusty old Battlefront player's heart to no end. And they can't ignore us forever. They got to give us a Battlefront 3 eventually. What do you think, man? Is it a pipe dream Does it make a difference that we're doing all this? Like, a ton of people have already weighed in to show their support, including like Ben Walk, the old community manager, Dennis Branval from DICE, and actors like Anthony Scordi, Janina Gavankar, TJ Ramini. Like, they're all on board. They're all showing their support for this.
Mm.
Is it going to go anywhere? Do you think it could go anywhere?
I mean, it's up to. So if the prior game developers are already open and willing to do the project, then I think all they really need is the go ahead from Disney or Lucasfilm at this point, because they're the owners of the property or whatnot.
Right.
But I
EA
mean,
license.
even
Yeah,
if it wasn't Battlefront 3 necessarily, like, it would be very beautiful for them to give us a new Star Wars game, just like in general, that isn't an RPG. As much as I love KOTOR, and as much as they've been promising to give us a KOTOR reskin for like almost a decade now, or like same with the Darth Maul game that got scrapped. Like, there's so many.
Right. I remember that.
Like, I feel bad that the mobile game, that one mobile game that you had a lot of fun, got canceled. The one
Hunters.
Yeah. So
RIP. RIP to
so
Hunters, man.
They could reskin that and use generated graphics and make an actual like physical console game for it, instead of it just being a mobile game. Or no, it was you could play it on console. You could like play it on your regular.
It was mobile. It was mobile only at first, and then they did a soft launch for PC and for console, and then it just disappeared after that.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
PC launch didn't go that badly. I had a good time. I was excited. I was having a good time, man. And then suddenly, boom, it's gone. And they just released a bunch of new season stuff. Like, it felt very abrupt. I feel like the devs didn't even know that was going to happen. And someday we'll get the story, the behind the scenes story about why Hunters so rapidly just fell apart like that. Something that I want
too. Like, if they were to make a Battlefront 3, like there's been so many new hero characters that have come out, and like there's been so many new factions that they could build, and with so many glup shittos and custom NPC players that they could do for people. Like, bro, yeah, if they did exactly Woozy, like if they did if they brought other characters from other games as heroes into
oh my god, yes. Sentinel is a Battlefront hero.
Yeah, dude, or like some of the Visions characters, even like who know. Well,
hey, what up, man?
Kind of hard to do that, but what up, Ronan? But yeah, like it's kind of how they repurposed the graphics engine from Pokemon Stadium and now use that for the graphics engine for Pokemon Go. It's like, if DICE is willing to do it, they could easily. Like, just let them. If the creators and if the voice actors want to do it, it's always best, and it's always absolutely amazing when the people who are doing the project actually want to do the project versus people who just want to do it for the payout, and then they're just
right versus Spaceballs, the search for more money.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, it sounds like the interest is there, but the problem is, like, in the gaming development world, like, nothing moves until funding happens, until like a studio greenlights it, and so it's like. All of the creatives, everyone whose attention has been gotten by this, they're not the right people. Like, we need to get the attention of like an executive who has the power to do this, and that's where we're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're working on it, and we're making as much noise as possible, and really just trying to send the message that everyone's still playing this game because this game is awesome. And if you made a third one, you would be printing money. Like, everyone will buy it.
Yeah, Sydney 81, exactly. Like. Give Cad Bane, make Cad Bane a character, give him give us flamethrowers, make Mandalorians a build now, because of everything that we've seen with the Mandalorian TV shows and everything that we've seen with the final seasons of Clone Wars and Rebels. Like, bro, it's about time that they make more Mandalorian-esque characters, or at least make that as a character build. So it's like there's so many avenues and like directions that they could make with things.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Well put. I don't know how much hope I have that like anything's going to happen swiftly. Like, I think that this could kickstart a very long development process for Battlefront 3, which we end up don't even see for like 5 years. But even that is better than nothing, man. Like, even that's better than nothing. At least there's a future there. At least there's hope there somewhere.
Yeah.
But like someone just pointed out here, Battlefront 2 has aged very gracefully in terms of the visuals, and like it still looks good enough that even if we don't get a Battlefront 3 and we just get a return to active support for Battlefront 2, you know, like that alone would really change a lot. Like if the dev team came back and made one single change and it was that they enabled crossplay, there you go, boom, solve so many problems.
I don't remember.
Never have a problem finding a lobby again.
Outside of Lando having the most sexiest blaster in all of history, and the fact that it had like a pearl handle and could see in the dark.
Oh no, you don't know. You don't know, Bendu. You don't know about the power blaster.
The power blaster? Is that like its secondary shot? Like,
so power blast was one of Lando's abilities in Battlefront 2015. All right, not even Battlefront 2.
oh, cool, okay.
It was a 2015 ability.
Yeah.
But on launch, power blast, it was so completely broken that he could just like take down. He could blow up the damn Death Star with that little pearl hand grip pistol if he wanted to.
God, I love that gun so much.
God, I love that gun so powerful. Yeah, Lando, the power blaster. Someone made a fantastic video about it. Let me see if I can find it here. But yeah, basically, like the Battlefront, when a bunch of heroes were super powerful at launch, like more powerful than they needed to be, and Lando was one of the most egregious. I think Han Solo also had a pretty like, man, the DL-44 back in the glory days, it was crazy. You could just send people flying across the room with the DL-44.
That's true.
But yeah, that's what we're referring to here is the Lando power blaster, which was one of my favorite early Battlefront memes from like, God, can't have been older than like 2015.
God, that's so funny. I was just so obsessed with the Force users that I didn't give a shit about like the blaster heroes.
Nuts. Well, because so exactly funny. They were like, we got to make these guys be able to stand on a battlefield with a bunch of Force using heroes and still make them powerful enough. And so they're like, the way we'll balance it is by making Lando just have this absolute fuck you blaster that just kills everything.
Woodsy, like, a hero should feel like a hero. That's fair. Absolutely fair. Corey, it's Lando's multi-shot. Oh, okay. So it's okay. Interesting. Okay. No, Woodsy, I understood what you meant. A hero should feel like a hero. Yeah, no.
Absolutely. No. And they do a good job of that. Like you can take out multiple people like a big, larger than life Star Wars hero would. But here you go. This will explain everything about Lando and the power blast.
Should we try and go around?
It'll take time. I got an idea.
Lando.
Lando's not a man. He's a power blaster.
It's over, Commander. The rebels have been routed. They're fleeing into the woods. We need reinforcements to continue the pursuit.
Hello, what have we here? Lando Calrissian sends his regards. I got my own problem. Taking you out.
Wow. I think I have more questions than I do answers, but some of the comments I got here are absolutely fantastic.
That was all canon, by the way.
This is true Lando. I love how Lando's Andor skin is. What if his bright blue cape had a bit of camo?
You just got a little bit of mud flecked on there.
God, that's so fucking funny.
Legit though, no,
Just
seriously,
roll
like
in and
Power
auto.
Blast and Lando
That's
just
incredible.
destroying everybody. Anyone who was a big 2015 Battlefront crew will appreciate that. Like you guys remember the real deal.
Lock on one. The fact that the video started with him just like melee elbowing to the face 2 stormtroopers and then he starts blasting is, I think, just like it was like cherry on top first. Just melee, shoot. So
I think my favorite part is how they reused the audio. He's like, Lando's not a man, he's a power blaster.
He's a power blaster. Yeah, no, that's so sexual and hilarious. So it's not a multi-shot and like he shoots once and like multiple beams come out. So does it just like does his pistol not overheat and then he's just able to just repeat shoot the whole time? Or like how does the power blast setting work?
I'm looking up the actual ability description here. Just a whole bunch of people bitching about the Power Blast glitch back in 2022.
Power Blast glitch. It's like it's not powerful enough.
Basically Power Blast, it'll lock on to an enemy, and then wherever they run, you just auto will hit them. Like you don't have to worry about aiming at them.
Interesting.
And you can he can lock onto vehicles, he can lock onto heroes, he can lock onto pretty much anything with it. Yeah, and it was supposed to be a single shot. Like you lock on and you've got one really good heavy hitter shot that's guaranteed to hit him.
Uh-huh.
But and then it disengages. It's supposed to disengage once you fire, and then it's on a cooldown. But there's no disengage. There's no turning it off. So you're just bam, 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 just like you saw in the video.
Excellent.
And so you've got Lando the Power Blaster, and that's
incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Those were the days. Someone else in here was talking about Anakin at launch. Yeah, day one Anakin.
Yeah.
His retribution would just like kill everyone in the lobby. He could just like pull everything towards him with the Force.
Oh, dude, I remember that. Oh god, they teased that so hard in Force Unleashed, and then
they had to nerf it. Had to nerf it so fast.
Anakin still? I guess that wasn't Anakin power. I thought it was
a Clone Wars Anakin hero in Battlefront had that.
He pulled
totally
Mortis and repulsed. Damn. Mortis Anakin? Yeah, that's true. Good point.
It's absolutely what that was. Awesome. Well, we have some gonks to talk about. And I say gonks multiple, plural, because we've got Gonk of the Week, right? We've also got an update on a previous Gonk of the Week that has changed. So that's 2 gonks already. Ooh. And then also, let me tell you about this. Okay, so I react to Star Wars fan films every Monday, and this past Monday, the fan film that was sent to me was called Gonk the Musical.
The musical?
The musical. It's a big deal.
Okay.
It was made by Keegan Larwin, and so I've already reacted to this. I did it on the channel, but I wanted everyone else to get a chance to witness this absolute masterpiece. Check this out, Gonk the Musical.
He's not a trash can, so don't call the trash man G-O-N. Case made for leisure, don't give him around or you'll give him a seizure. Gonk is a droid to be, born and raised on the Tatooine streets.
He might look silly, he might be square, but the Gonk is a ghost, so quit looking elsewhere.
Let's go now. G-O-N-K only knows one word, not very helpful when he gets captured.
We've only seen a few, we don't know where the rest are. Wait a minute, what just blew up the Death Star? Everybody back!
Everybody just bounce.
You're speechless, I see. So as far as I'm concerned, that's canon. That's my new headcanon for how the Battle of Yavin went. Wow. I just love that the Gonk droid has become like the capybara of Star Wars, where he'll just chill with anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like dancing. He's like hanging with the stormtroopers. He's hanging with the rebels. With the
I feel like it's going to be very difficult when I inevitably get married. It's going to be difficult for my partner not to let me have that play at our reception. That was quite surprising and quite a banger. It's like I want a Star Wars DJ to play that song and then play like both bangers from Andor season 2. Like just make it a collective, a silly Star Wars playlist. But the fact that it was the Gonk that blew up the Death Star, I think was just, that's what got me. That made me. That's
something about seeing a Gonk inside the cockpit of a T-65 like that shot. Inspired. I'd never seen that before. I never thought about like, oh yeah, what if you put a Gonk droid in the cockpit? Like that's so funny. It's such a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
it's so simple too. Yeah, shout out to Keegan Larwin who made that. Absolutely fantastic. I'll drop a link to the original fan film in the description of this video. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're live, just wait for that description to get updated. You'll get a link so you can go check out his original fan film as well. But very, very cool. I hope we get to see some more cool stuff from him. So moving on, Gonk of the Week. Here we go. So what do you think? Should we start with our update on a previous Gonk, or should we start with this week's Gonk? What should we do first?
Let's do this week's Gonk.
Okay, so we'll go to this week's Gonk. Gonk of the Week. All right. So today's
Gonk, interesting. Okay.
This one right here. Yeah, this Gonk comes to us from Phil Weldon.
Both of them?
Well,
oh no, yes, just the tall boy.
Yes, both of them, but we're specifically focusing on this little green.
On the tall one. Okay.
Green little ditty over here. Yes.
Tall, skinny dude. All right.
He's a little tall and skinny. He is. He's got some verticality, we'll say.
Yeah.
The vertical aspects to his design.
Oh, that's why. It's because this one is actually.
It's a costume. It's wearable. Exactly. It's a costume.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do have a little bit of a description here that
wearable. This is our first.
I think it could be.
I don't want to say it's our first functional Gonk because we've seen multiple functional Gonks.
I mean, we've seen Gonks that straight up charge things.
But this is the first Gonk that we've seen that's actually like, a cosplay. So extra points for originality. Like this is pretty cool. This is the first time we've seen a Gonk cosplay. I mean, you got to see a sexy lamp Gonk in person. In Tokyo celebration.
Oh my God, you're right.
So this is
some good Gonks in my day. Some good Gonks.
That's pretty great. This after re-seeing the French leg Gonk, that's very much like the Bride of Frankenstein to this Frankenstein-ass looking Vietnam vet Gonk. Yeah.
I totally get the Vietnam. Well, especially because look at the writing right here. I don't know if you can read this. It says front towards enemy. Like you'd have on a claymore,
Interesting.
And also interesting is that the Aurebesh letters themselves are backwards. They're horizontally flipped, but they're in the correct order. So it reads left to right like it's supposed to, but all of the letters are backwards. So this guy had to stencil the wrong way around when he put them on. No, because when you flip the picture, front becomes to north.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the letters are actually, they stenciled them on backwards, I think is what's happening here.
Well, you can repaint that. That's
absolutely no. It's not a huge. I'm not trying to be a hater. It's not a huge problem. Like we can overcome this issue. But so Phil sent me a little message alongside this Gonk. He says 2 weeks ago I asked my 10-year-old what Star Wars costume she wanted to wear to Portsmouth Comic-Con. Princess Leia, Rey, Ahsoka, Sabine. She replied with a devilish grin and a single word: Gonk. And there we have it. 2 weeks later, we have our Gonk. I'm incredibly happy with how it's turned out, and I only had to buy the boxes, vents, and stuff for the legs. She had a great time in it and a wonderful time seeing the droids from Norwich Builder Group. Cool. So there you go. This was devised as it was a child's costume. This is for this guy's daughter. And like, honestly, like, yeah, he's raising her right, clearly. Like, what kind of a costume do you want, sweetie? She's like, I want to be a Gonk droid. The kids are all right, man. These kids are going to turn out all right.
It's true. It's true.
It's a good costume. It really is. And I see, look, that's the purpose of the cloth here. It's like a height compensation because he's obviously taller than his daughter. So when he wears it, it's a little tall. And then I think this is her in the costume. It's a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I think you're potentially right. Yeah.
100%. 100%. We need to raise the next generation to be Gonk appreciators. Or what's the point? What's the point of all of this?
Gonk bless.
Gonk bless.
Yeah. Gonk is good.
Gonk, damn it.
All the time.
Awesome. So that's Phil Weldon's. Thank you so much, Phil Weldon, for that Gonk. A really, really nice one. And I'm glad that you had like a father-daughter build experience. Like the whole thing is just a nice, positive little story. Man, it's when you start looking at the Gonks and the people who make them, like you find some pretty nice things sometimes. It's very cool. And speaking of Gonks, we have an update. So you remember, oops, I got to remove that one. You remember this guy, right?
Yes, the mouse droid Gonk head hybrid.
Yes, it was built by Chris Dover. We covered this one last week, the mouse droid Gonk hybrid, like you said. So in the update, it turns out that this Gonk droid is now a proper droid. You can see it still has the horizontal bars on top. It is still detachable. It is still functional as a mouse droid, and it still has the remote control car apparatus going on. But he's 3D printed a lower half for the Gonk part of the body. And honestly, I really like the feet. They're not standard. He kind of freestyled the feet a little bit, but I like that beveled line on the side and then the two-toe.
That is true.
Agreed. I very much like the color choices too, because as you saw before, it was kind of stark and white, and now it's got kind of a nice mottled blue. He's painted kind of the face plate a little bit as well.
It's true.
Gonktacular. Yeah, I'm digging it.
See this Gonk on on Camino. It definitely is rocking Camino colors for sure.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the muted blue and then that white. I see Camino colors there too. Honestly, I do.
So then, what do the wheels? Well, I guess it still works both ways. But if you don't want to use it as a mouse droid, then you can just like put it on top of its bottom body as like
exactly.
Interesting.
I don't think it's functional. I think it's more of a statue, like the Gonk part of it, and so the lower half probably just sits there and works as a docking station for the mouse droid. Yeah, you'd manually take the head off and place it on the ground, and then, although like if the bottom half is hollow, it would be kind of cool if it was like a storage thing, and it held like the remote control and like battery pack and like anything you might need for the mouse droid could be stored in the Gonk. But these are all ideas. These are speculations that we're having. This isn't what we know it's capable of. So not to give him that credit, but I do like where this is going, and I really like the color choice as well. I think that blue is a solid choice for a Gonk. We don't see enough of this.
It's a solid choice, yeah.
It's like baby, like almost like periwinkle kind of blue color. Like it's a very OT choice. Everyone kind of goes for the drab colors. So I appreciate this.
That is true.
Yeah, man.
The more earthy tones.
Good Gonks this week. So we do also have a vintage commercial that we wanted to talk about here. Other than that very excellent documentary we just watched about Lando, the Power Blaster.
God, so good. That was so
great.
funny.
Power blasting crisis.
Bringing memes back. Bringing the old memes back.
The ancient memes, the deep memes.
The deep memes.
Well, speaking of oh my God, speaking of deep memes, let's cut to commercial real quick.
Lonely, are you? The hottest Jedis in the galaxy are waiting to talk to you. But it doesn't stop there. My friends want to chat too. No, Jabba's not here right now.
You want me to put my lightsaber where? No. Call me. Call now, you will. They wanna party?
Not all girls meet minimum midichlorian counts. Not available on Alderaan or Coruscant.
Don't want to party. Oh my god.
Not available on Alderaan or Coruscant.
Oh man.
What do you mean? You just watched Star Wars. That was just
know
Star
what you
Wars.
watched. That was a message from our
Star Wars.
Yeah.
That was a vintage commercial. Man.
I'm calling it right now. Yeah.
I remember that from back in the day. Yes, it's real. Of course. I mean, it was a tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that Coruscant was like forbidden for being portrayed because it was coming up in the prequels. No one else is allowed to depict Coruscant, Imperial Center, because we're going to change it with the movie.
It's true.
Yeah, that is not the vintage commercial of the week, by the way. That was just because we're talking about the deep memes.
That was old school memes. That's deep internet. That's old Star Wars. Yeah.
We're going to go back even further for our commercial. Check this out.
The Rancor monster's hungry again. Let's feed him. Don't do it.
Luke Skywalker, Gamorrean Guard, new Rancor Monster and Rancor Keeper action figures, each sold separately.
You'll regret this. Wait till he gets his claws into a Jedi Knight. Whoa, some jaws. This is my only chance. He's wounded. We better get in there. He'll never get out alive, Gamorrean Guard.
New Rancor Monster, action figures, each sold separately, from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
Man, I remember back in the day when kids used to play in dirt.
Yeah, right. Just
now
out
there's
in the yard.
needles in the dirt, and you can't do that anymore. People suck.
Wow, you turned that dark impressively fast. Thanks for that, Bendu. The thing that I love about this commercial, I think, is the weird voice. I didn't notice until like the third time I played this back. The voice the kid is doing. He's doing like a Rancor voice. It's kind of hilarious.
Was it the Rancor's voice though? Because I thought he was.
He might have been being the Gamorrean. Either way, he's like really getting into a character, and
it's very raspy, piratey. It is.
Yeah. What's the affectation he's going with? Let's watch it one more time. Pay attention to his voice.
Yeah.
The Rancor monster's hungry again. Let's feed him. Don't do it.
Luke Skywalker, Gamorrean Guard, new Rancor Monster and Rancor Keeper action figures, each sold separately.
You'll regret this. Wait till he gets his claws into a Jedi Knight. Whoa, some jaws. This is my only chance. He's wounded. We better get in there. He'll never get out alive, Gamorrean Guard.
New Rancor Monster, action figures, each sold separately, from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
Okay, so I get it. The voice he's doing, the lengthy, raspy voice. So there's that kid. Who's doing the roaring, like who's being the Rancor. But then there was the other kid who was being both the Gamorrean Guard and the Rancor trainer, and he was the one that was kind of like talking like a pirate.
He had the fun job, that commercial.
Yeah, and then there was the third kid who was Luke Skywalker that just used his regular ass voice and just like made Luke slide down the sand dune. Which again, playing in the dirt, man, that's what it was. Like the fact that they were able to find some like rock quarry or like some beach somewhere in one of their kids' backyard, and they're like, "Yo, let's dig this giant hole and recreate Return of the Jedi real quick."
Dude, me and like you saying that just now just unlocked like a core memory from back in the day. Me and my brother, my younger brother, got in all this trouble with my dad because we wanted to. Well, yeah, because we wanted to use our Star Wars figures in like a dirt environment.
Oh.
And all we had back there was like lush, beautiful, manicured grass. So we grabbed the shovel and we're like, let's just carve out a little bit on the edge there and we'll make it into like a dirt patch and then we can do our dirt stuff there. And we ended up like, we got to do our dirt stuff. We ended up carving up like a huge swath of it, and it had like multiple levels, and like we thought it was cool. It was like the inside of the Geonosis, like whatever, you know. We had a whole plan, and then my dad came home and he saw it and absolutely like flipped out. And we thought he was being so unreasonable. And looking back on it, like, oh my God, he should have kicked our asses.
Like we destroyed his garden. we were inches away
on his behalf, like as an adult thinking about what we did, but like.
You're going to send him a text message tomorrow and be like, hey, remember that time that we were so close to destroying your flowers?
I'll be like, hey, Dad, remember Geonosis? Remember when Geonosis was in our backyard?
Remember the backyard? Yeah, that's what you had to say. Oh
God.
man, that's brilliant.
Give him a heart attack. Why don't I? No, but yeah, the playing in the backyard, playing in the dirt, playing in like the tall grass with your figures. There's something about like I hope kids are still doing that these days. I hope that there's kids still out there, you know, getting their hands dirty with and stuff, and not just like playing on the internet and video games nonstop. Because like it was so much fun as a kid. Like I had the Naboo starship, like the Attack of the Clones. No, it was the Phantom Menace one, the one with like the breakaway panels where you could see inside, like a hyperdrive that came out. I'd put that on the grass, and on like a shiny, like a sunny day, like the reflective surfaces would like gleam. It was so cool. I missed that thing. 100%. We've all done it. We've all done it. I took my little Clone Wars. I had a bunch of clone troopers, and I stuck them in like a plant pot that had like a little swamp in it. Showed them crossing like a jungle terrain.
My grandmother, because they were super I was gonna say, wait, hold on. I need to like restructure that sentence before I actually say it. I remember that my grandmother would get me disposable cameras because disposable cameras were cheap. Not to say like, oh yeah, no, my grandmother was cheap. She used to give me these disposable cameras. Like
no, totally, I get what you mean.
Like yeah, and then because micro machines were a thing, so they had all the miniature like Star Wars vehicles, and then like different Hot Wheels shit, and then the little Pokemon figures came out, and then yeah, similar thing. I like did live action photography of like some of the figures and everything, but it was quick and easy because they were disposable cameras, so I could just, you know, bullshit, take whatever pictures I wanted, and
right,
just take it to Walgreens. And then if it was worth some, if it was good, it was good. If not, it probably just all just got. I don't remember ever looking at the photos. I just remember taking the photos. So I guess that's that's says something to that.
I wonder if there's like a treasure trove of undeveloped films somewhere. That's like
of
all
like
of your
Pokemon pictures and
of like childhood action figure photography that you busted out, like a whole repertoire. Maybe that's out there someday.
That'd be hilarious. I'd find that. Spring-loaded tape measure and hook it under my land speeder.
Nice.
Oh, that's fucking smart. That's smart.
No, that's good thinking. Okay. That's good thinking.
Huh. Yeah, because they did have little wheels. It did have 3 wheels under it, so you could have just like that's brilliant.
Probably the same land speeder that Rosario Dawson was riding around on the set of Ahsoka.
Yeah, except it was
I was like the OG one.
Get over the other commercial. Yeah, you can't. You'll be thinking about it for a while now.
Only one way to get over it, and that's to call 1-900-HOT Jedi.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
True story. When Return of the Jedi came out, my brother married many of the Barbie dolls to Jabba. I'm sure the word married was used loosely.
No, I get it. I get exactly what was happening in that household because I get it too. Because my sister had a bunch of Barbie dolls, and I had a giant like Jabba the Hutt.
I had a giant sloth, fucking slug monster, Playboy, fucking gangster dude. Yeah.
I don't know if this comment is in reference to what I just said or what I am currently saying, but either way, dude, I want one of the OG land speeders. I wouldn't even attempt to ride it around because I know that my fat ass would break it immediately, but I want to have it. I just want to have it in the corner of the room, you know.
The fact that they were so big too, the fact that they were like the same size as like the Power Wheels like vehicles, like the fact that they remade it, I think is also a testament to time and how fantastic it is. I know they're pretty pricey and they don't make a whole lot of them, so yeah, just enough desire at a time, right? Like that's how we were able to get adult-sized Heelys. So there's a way. Hopefully, best friends, we won't die before we get actual land speeders or like.
Oh my god! Right? Get some hover technology going.
Yeah, before.
Can we please get hover tech in our lifetimes, man?
Yeah, that's what needs to happen ultimately.
It was all. I remember growing up in the '90s. It was all millennium this, millennium that. You know, it's the future. It's like the future sucks. Let's get some flying cars going. Some hovercraft, some land speeders, some jet packs. We don't have any of the stuff that I was promised by Saturday morning cartoons.
Right.
We should have all of it by now.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
But going back to the Star Wars Kenner commercial, they really did have the best toys, and I'm so glad that plastics got better and paint became less toxic over time. And
Yeah. No, we
again,
don't use
Revenge of the
lead-based
Sith,
paint for everything anymore.
or not Revenge of the Sith. When Phantom Menace came out, I think that was still like absolute peak when it comes to Star Wars toys and Star Wars marketing. But when the VHS, when they did the remastered version of the original trilogy, we got so many cool OG Star Wars character toys and action figures and lightsabers. Like, man, it was just, we were so lucky.
Yeah, dude, we didn't know how good we had it. We really didn't. Although I do say, like, I feel that same kind of jealousy towards like kids of today who have like some pretty awesome stuff coming out that like we would have killed to have when we were kids. So like it cuts both ways. It cuts both ways. We had some better stuff, yes, but they have some cooler stuff that we wasn't even an option to us back then.
Are you talking about like the Hot Toys collectibles where they're like literal miniature people and just
yeah,
like,
I mean, well, okay, yes. So on the high
those
end,
aren't for kids.
yes, no, I know. On the extreme high end, you got the Hot Toys, but like Micro Galaxy Squadron, for example. Like, yeah, we had Micro Galaxy Squadron 2 back in the 90s. It was not as good as it is now. It was nowhere near as like consistent in terms of like scale accuracy. The variation, like the selection wasn't nearly the same. You can get if it's been on screen, you can get a scale model of it with a little pilot figure, and I think that's dope. With like a really nice sculpt and a really nice paint job, like every ship. That's what the kids have these days, and I am jealous of that, I will say. We did have better sabers back then. They've got way better micro machines now. That's where we're at, I think.
Tis true. Tis true.
Yes, the OG, like a lot of the Kenner and Hasbro, like larger ships for the 375.
They did yellow.
Figures.
Yeah.
Those have aged pretty well.
I think it's good as Micro Galaxy Squadron. No. Welcome to the Rebellion. I know, for real though. Like that's how it is.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Micro Galaxy Squadron as today. That's what I'm saying. Like and they were pretty good back in the day. Like I really liked their Legends book tie-ins where you would get the little novel and inside it would have like 3 ships from that book. Like that's how I got the Sun Crusher.
Mm-hmm.
Those were awesome, but like they're kicking their own ass today. Like it's so much better today. Yeah, man. It's been a busy week. We've done a lot. We've done a lot of Star Wars fanning recently too. You know, reacting to all of Andor season 2, Rogue One, doing the rewatch. Tonight we talked about Battlefront 2 a little bit, the hopes for Battlefront 3 and what the real chances are there.
It's true.
To look at some pretty great gonks too. Not just an excellent gonk of the week. That was kind of a heartwarming story about a costume, but also an update on a past favorite gonk of the week, which has made a transformation much like a butterfly in a chrysalis from a mouse droid gonk combination to a proper gonk with a detachable mouse droid top. You don't see that in nature very much. Maybe there's a good reason for that. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been the Dork Forces podcast. We've kind of jumped a little bit all over the place tonight, and we kind of do that. That's kind of our thing. But we're really glad that you were here listening with us, and we hope you had a good time because we certainly did. Sorry, Bendu, you were going to say something.
That is kind of our thing. That is our theme. Speaking of themes, next week we will not be here. We'll be celebrating a very important birthday for my best friends, and so he needs the evening. We all need the evening of. If you are close to the Phoenix, Arizona area, in the next 2 weekends, Phoenix Fan Fusion is going to be happening, which is their own sort of local Comic-Con. A lot of bigger artists and celebrities will be there this particular season.
Hell yeah. Who are you trying to meet?
If you'll be joining or attending, I will be trying to attend on the Sunday of the event. I'm still trying to put it into the ether that Anthony Daniels, Manny Jacinto, and Ming-Na Wen, I'll be able to at least like say hello or get pictures with them. Best case scenario, just as we have so many amazing cosplayers now in our new intro for the Dork Forces, if I could get either Fennec Shand, C-3PO himself, or Chimere to just be like, hey, this is so-and-so, and you're listening to Dork Force's podcast.
Do it.
And if I can get
Do
them
it.
to do the Dune
Oh,
Disney,
yes.
like
yes.
worst case scenario,
Do it.
I just ask and they say no, right? You know,
Seriously,
it's like,
it'll never hurt.
Right?
It'll
It's
never
like,
hurt.
oh, well, we don't want to endorse a podcast that we've never heard of, so we don't want to, like, you know, blah 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 blah. And it's like, that's fine. Here's
There's always a chance of
$60.
that, but I mean, shoot your shot. You know. Shoot
Yeah,
your shot.
right. So, but yes, long story short, if you are in the Arizona area, if you will be attending Phoenix Fan Fusion, leave us a comment, leave us a question, or you can find myself. I will be as I'll be as Copia. I will be dressed as Ghost, as a dark cardinal. So if you see a very silly holy man on the Sunday, give him a pull. I might give you a rat.
Dark Tales.
Yeah, Dark Tales.
No, amazing. You're gonna have a good time, dude. I hope you meet up with people.
It's gonna be so hot. Oh my god! So
that'd be hilarious.
In a closing, disgusting note, Arizona has also started the triple-digit heat days. So
love that for you.
That is That is That's how it is now. We're reaching Tatooine season. But thank you, everyone. We love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us for so long. Yes, Papa. It'll be some good shit. It'll be some good stuff. So yes. Happy birthday to Katarn. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, just to recap, we were not going to be live next Wednesday. That's June 4th. But we will be back the following week with more gonks, more commercials, more old school Star Wars memories, news and rumors, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Clearly my vintage commercial went over like a lead balloon with you guys, so I'm going to subject you to it one more time. I'm going to play us out with this one more time. But thank you for watching, everybody. This has been the Dork Forces podcast. Good night, and as always, may the Force be with you.
Lonely, are you? The hottest Jedis in the galaxy are waiting to talk to you. But it doesn't stop there. My friends want to chat too. No, Jabba's not here right now. You want me to put my lightsaber where? No. Call me. Call now, you will. They wanna party?
Not all girls meet minimum midichlorian counts. Not available on Alderaan or Coruscant.
Some game, huh?
Some game!
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn, honey?
Whoa, okay.
All right, this is pretty sweet. Wait, yours makes noise?
Yeah, well, it's a Target version. It's not even the real
version. Dork Forces! Dork Forces! Dork Forces! Dork Forces! Dork Forces! Dork Forces!